Hello guys, today we are replacing here the brake rotors or discs for the rear axle and also the brake pads. As I did on the front of the car, I will replace the pads and the discs. Now the discs I did not replace the last time, but I will talk about that. In the rear, the discs are still from factory and it's time. The brake rotors are from Autel. And the brake pads, I was not able to find the Autel brake pads, the ceramic ones, or Brembo, or any other brand. The only thing I could find was this ABC brake pads. Let's see how they handle this. Also, we are going to need this tool here to retrieve the piston for the caliper. I have a complete set, as you can see, but you will also only need this part here and this plate. I will show you next, and this or this part. Don't worry, I will show you. Now, I love this brake rotors, not just because it's manufactured, but because of this paint, if you can call it that. I like that because the aspect, for a long time, a lot of years, it's always this clean look, not rusty at all, as you may see on other brake rotors. And another benefit, in this surface here and on the rear, it is also painted, okay? You will have much less corrosion, and then you will be able to mount this disc with a lot more confidence and a lot less problems with corrosion, thus keeping your wheels from tightening crooked and preventing vibrations. Now, when lifting your car, make sure your car is in gear. If it is a front-wheel drive car, shock the front wheels and try to raise the car as much as possible so you can work on a comfortable position. I like to sit on the ground. On my knees is a little bit difficult for me, so I try to raise the car as much as possible and then start to work. Before I take out the wheel, remember to undo your handbrake. Your wheel must be completely free, so you can work on the rear brakes or the brakes that have the handbrake. And before you take out the actual wheel, you must do one or two checks just for maintenance to see if you have any problems. What do you want to see is if the wheel has play on it, and you have to see the play on this side and up and down. Now I grab my wheel up and down, no play. If it is play, normally it's on a bearing, and now in this way. There is some play here. I think I know what it is. Let's take out the wheel and see what's what. Now, to see the place, you have to consider everything that is attached to the stub, to this part that holds the disc, okay? And you have here this bushing right here. It's very fallible. This one, that one over there, and that one over there. Now, you want to look at it. At the same time, try to turn it, and I see right there, look at there. Okay, can you see? The problem is over there. Okay. This one is for the next job. I will not do this today, okay? Let's only do brakes. So this play here, what does it mean on the road? It means that the rear of the car looks like a fish. The tail of the fish does it like this. Looks like almost lateral wind. Now, this is very dangerous, can be very dangerous. And also, it will tear apart your tires. You may replace your shock absorbers, you may replace a lot of things, and the problem is so almost invisible, but it's there. Okay? Try to keep up here with the place of your car. Alfa 156, Alfa GT 147, it's all almost the same. And let's do the brakes now. Okay, now what do you have to do to take out the disc or rotor and the pads is to free the rotor from its place. To do that, you obviously have to take out the caliper, but also you have to take out the holder for the caliper. In this way, we can take out this pin here. Now this pin here, some people ask me, why is this pin a pin? It's simply to help you to mate your rim to your hub. Okay, it's easier to center your rim. And also it will hold up with a 12 millimeter, hold up your rotor to your hub. Now you can apply your handbrake just for a moment and use a 6-side 12 millimeter, and it's out. This is a very small, very shallow X-bolt, so don't try to do what I just did with this 12 side. Okay, now let's undo the handbrake again and continue. Next step here is to do a 15 millimeter here on the guide pin, a 13 millimeter on the bolt. Take it out like this, or with a ratchet, however you want. Take it all out. The bolt has a special glue to help to hold itself. In this case is a red glue. Normally the new bolts have that glue. On the bottom side, the same story. Sometimes not a lot of space. It looks like I'm doing a right tightening. I'm not, because the bolt works in this way. Do you like me to? I'm sorry. Do you want me to put more music or less music on my videos, or depends on the videos? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, the two bolts are out. Now, normally on the front caliper, you take a big wrench, a big screwdriver, and you put it like I did on my last video of the front brakes, and push in the piston, so it's easier to take out the caliper and to accept the new brake pads. On this case, with handbrake, that is not possible. You only can screw in the piston with a tool or something like a tool. So sometimes it's not that easy to take out your caliper, but be patient, be very patient. I have several here because I have limited space. I think I can use this all-purpose screwdriver. Okay, try to jiggle it like this. Okay, and it's out. Put that to the side for now. Now it's a good time to confirm if your brake pads, your new brake pads, are suitable for your car. And okay, the backing plate, it's exactly the same. So far, success. The brake pads are okay, are very bad. Before you continue, I'm sorry, I have some construction here on my side. Sorry for the noise. You want to see here if the guide pins are truly like this. Very good. I think I'm surprised. I'm surprised they are so good. Very soft. They are really not stuck at all. Okay, that's a good thing. I will take him out anyway, clean them, and put my new grease that came with the pads. That is great, actually. And now we have to. It's a good time as well to see if you can retrieve this piston. Why I'm not suddenly taking all apart and see that later, because in this part here I don't think I'm gonna encounter any surprises. I want to see the critical parts first, so I can do some repairs or order materials or in parts. So let's see here how to retrieve this piston. Before you continue, you must see one thing. And in the Alfas, I don't think any of them has this system, but there are a lot of brands that have this. I'm sorry, on the Alfa 155 it has that. In the Alfa 33 it also has this. A point here that you have to fit this groove here on this point. So when you end retrieving this piston, this groove or this one must be pointing this imaginary point that you have here. Okay. Now I show you how to do that. Don't be scared by that. I encountered a lot of times the point scratching or point on the wrong place of the piston, and then the pad, it wears out crooked. Okay, but let's see. First, we will retrieve the piston. Next thing, you have to be very, very gentle with this rubber boot here. Try to see where it ends. Try to pull it up. It's just a safety measure that I use. And I inject a little bit of WD-40 to lubricate two things. The ring, the O-ring, the square ring, the main ring on the caliper, and also this boot. So it slides with very ease. The next thing you want to do is to use this tool. This tool here does two jobs. It spins the piston, and also it pushes in the piston. You can see it. Okay, spins and also pushes in. You want to put your plate like this, match your pins, push this out just a little bit. You don't need to tighten it. And now spin it. Sometimes it's really, really, really hard. With these Alfa systems, the first ones, on the Alfa 156, it's really hard sometimes. Sometimes strangely hard. Another thing you can encounter here, I don't think this car has this, is left-handed brake calipers. Normally, the left-handed brake calipers are Bosch manufacturing, and they stay on the left side. Look, the brake disc just came off. So nice. I don't think the new one will came out like this because of the thickness. But that it's better, so I don't have to take out this this part. Let's try to. Oh my God! Oh Jesus Christ! What is happening? Oh my God! Don't worry, I will change this brake hose. Sometimes to start it out, take out this plate here and just try to spin it. If you just spin it, it will not come in. Oh. If you spin it, okay, starting to spin, and now I can try to put the plate. Okay, starting to spin. This is the adapter that I use. I'm glad this stuff happens. These problems. So you can see, this is just not a tutorial video. This is real life. Okay. This is not just. Continue here. I did a 5-minute break. Oh my god. Even on the new ones, when I worked on Alfa Romeo, sometimes it was like this. Oh, Jesus. Let's try it again. I think this is because of the lack of maintenance of the brake fluid. Inside the caliper, you get this, it's almost like a cement that holds on the walls of the inside of the caliper. It makes everything so stiff. I think it's because of that. Let's try turning it again. It's turning very badly, but it's turning. Now we have to turn it all the way inside, and at the end, if your brake pad has that point, a point like this, okay, on the brake pad, you have to leave it facing. Let's see if I can show you. Almost. You have to leave it here, like this, horizontal, like this. In some brake pads, no, on some calipers, you have a point in here, not on when they are not centered. They have a point or a scratch or something to tell you this part here has to stay lined up with that scratch or point. Okay, not on this case over here. When I do my 155 brakes, I will show you in more detail, but it's like this. You can use some tricks. I hold here the caliper and I'm using this trick here. Don't try to do it everything at once. Do it a little bit more. Sometimes this, okay, starting to go more smoothly now. Sometimes this is also easier to open the brake fluid reservoir to let the air escape, even if the plug, the cap, it's a valve, but sometimes it does not let out the air or the oil if it has too much oil. I'm bending I don't like this, but I don't have any other choice. Slowly let it rest. When I stop, it's much easier to restart. Do like this, just 5 minutes at a time. Almost all the Alfas 156, GTs, 147 that I worked on, they are like this. So, back then I told you you can do this without this tool, and you can. Okay, in this case it's very difficult to do it without the tool, but it works like this. You grab your old brake pad, you do a screw hole on the center of the pad, you weld up a nut, and you screw in a screw. In this way, you are screwing in the screw, making pressure on the piston, and at the same time, with a pair of pliers, you are twisting your piston. Okay, there is one way of doing this, but even in this way, it's hard. So, good luck on that. if you open up your brake fluid cap, don't forget that the brake fluid is very hygroscopic. It absorbs a lot of moisture from the environment. So if you are opening it, make sure you replace at least the oil that is on the reservoir. Okay, make sure of that. Sometimes we have to make it work, but don't screw yourself because of that. It's almost there, okay? Now I'm seeing here when my turn goes to, I have 180 degrees of loose tightening and another 180 of hard tightening. I think these pistons, they bent. I think it seems to be a current issue now with my Alfa 75 bending rods, my Alfa's 156 bending pistons. You see, 180, excellent. The other 180, hard. I don't think that is a coincidence. Let's try it again. Oh, okay, can you see? 180, excellent. The other 180, it will be hard. No, yeah, kinda. So the piston is always, it's not always on the same place on the caliper. So it's always different. Definitely some sort of prison inside the caliper. And you may ask, how much do I have to retrieve so I can do this job? Just the necessary. I like to retrieve everything, so it's always right. It will always fit. If I retrieve it just enough, I may have to tear it off again, try to retrieve it a little bit more. And in my profession, time is money, so I always retrieve everything till the last inch, millimeter. In inch, it's a very long measure, so that I don't have to do things 10 times. If you are doing this at home, please feel free to explore your car. Okay, it's almost there, completely almost there. When you feel a prison, really prison, it's done. Okay, now I have to unscrew this one here. Okay, unscrew it weirdly to the right. Your piston is all the way in. In this case, it does not matter the position of this entails here, because the brake pad is flat. Okay, we talked about that. On some countries, you have to do some additional things. In my country, is not that bad. You can have corrosion here on these parts that hold and slide the brake pad, and I just have some dust to take out. In your case, if you have too much corrosion, you have to clean it, and you have to use a good quality purpose grease. A good grease for this. I think the copper grease is very good for this. Really, I don't use it much on my country. Like I said, we don't have much corrosion, fortunately. Just some light blows. Okay, it's very good. And now I have to clean this with a wire brush or something, and put some grease for this, some special grease, and let's do it. It's very important to keep this clean when assembling, because of what I tell you about the corrosion or just the dust that is underneath. If you have a not so flat hub here, you will have a lot of knots and thread. The disc will not be able to mount the whole surface. It's not flat on this surface, and you will have problems with vibration. Not only so, if you mount the disc directly on top of the rust and the dust and all of this stuff, when you are tightening your wheel, even though you are tightening everything correctly at 120 Newton meters for this case, as you have dust and garbage behind here, when you are applying heat on the braking, you are bending your discs. Okay, it's very important to clean this very well and use a proper lubricant for this. Anti-seize paste. If this was a four-wheel car, for example, or a rear-wheel drive car, you can put your engine, start your engine, put a gear, spin this, and with a sandpaper, clean this up. Okay, I think this is good enough. Behind here, you have your ABS sensor, one for each wheel, okay? And this is the target for the ABS sensor. This target here, this ring, is magnetic, okay? With age, it gets a lot of stuff, a lot of dust, a lot of metal shavings. If you are running your brake pads to the steel, you can have metal shavings here on this target that is magnetic, and you may have problems with ABS reading. Imagine you are changing your brakes, or your brakes are on the steel, on the backing plates, and you have problems related to the ABS. Remember, this may be why the case. To clean this, I use some. Let me see here. The bearing it's good after 20 years. I use some degreaser and a rag. Let's see what I can do. As I said, I don't like being on my knees, and I am like right now. It's very hard to work hours like this. As you can imagine, it took a long time to do these videos, and it hurts a little bit. So you can see the surface of this target. It's smooth, very smooth. It's not like the old targets. There is with those tooths. It is not like that anymore. This is a much more precise system. It's a very good system as well. At least in my country, the systems are always different in each country because of the corrosion. It may suffer. The color is this dark brown, I think. Okay. Excellent, I think. Yeah. You must rotate it all the way to see where you end your cleaning. See if there is not a build-up on there. Okay, no build-up. See if this margin here must be always less than a millimeter. If you have corrosion on the back side here, you may have movement on this sensor and have problems with ABS reading. Okay, excellent. Okay, so here on the surface you want to use a good quality anti-seize grease. I use a what's it called, a ceramic based grease. It does not dry, it does not burn with temperature, it holds up for a long time. You can also use it on the bolts, and I also will use it on top of the disc. Let's see if I am so lucky to put it in as I was to. Okay, nice, very nice. I forgot this was so nice to do. I don't work outside my cars, of course. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Alfas to play with. There are not a lot of them in my area, and sometimes I forgot how good it is to work on these cars, even though sometimes problems, but they are not problems, they are challenges. Okay, some light tightening, not so much. Okay, that's enough. On this surface, the same paste. Do not use, or do not with your fingers, do not contaminate your working area with that or any other grease. Now let's do the pads. Now the brake pads, they come with this sticker. This is to prevent vibration, and the vibration translates into noise. That's squealing noise when you are banking. This one is. It was I that blew this down. It's a little bit broken. This one is best. It's better. I like to do this rubbing here before I put them in. I don't know why. Just some thing that I caught along the way. Okay, it's nice and free. You have to make sure the springs here are in place. Sometimes it's not easy. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, sorry. I have to take this out, clean and lubricate the guides. Now the guides, you have to be very certain of the position. Sometimes, these ones don't have that. Some of them have this rubber boot, and you have to be aware not to change the position of the one with the rubber boot. So let's clean this up and put some new grease. To clean, you just have to take out the old excess grease. It has to be a special grease because of two things: temperature and this rubber boot here. If you put some oil-based grease, this rubber boot will swell up and water starts to come in, and goodbye. So they are very good. Okay, if they presented some rust issues, I would have to clean inside here as well. But this is almost, I almost didn't have to do this. On this case, of course, each case is a different one. Just put some, nice, it looks like copper-based grease. And here, on the slider. Okay. The bottom one. So, you put it in and out, make sure it works. In here, clean it. Very good. I love this grease. Very nice. On the top guide, work it. Okay, it's in. Make sure to clean your fingers, not to contaminate your discs or pads. And now the back pads. And okay, make sure the springs are on the right spot. What is the best, the lower or the upper bolt first? It's whatever you want, whatever works for you. Make sure, sometimes the caliper wants to do this because of the springs. You have to shrink in here like this, so the bolt goes in much better. The lower one, I'm not seeing, I'm only feeling it, and I feel it is not playing ball, as they say. Okay, now yes. These bolts, you want to put always new bolts, kind of. Okay, these bolts don't have corrosion. Again, with the corrosion, don't have any corrosion. They have still a lot of glue on them, and I can see that they are still very tight on the threads. So it's not a hyper dangerous thing to put the same bolts as long as they are good. Okay, the top one is done. The lower one, the same thing. Make sure you are tightening, because the screw is turned against you. Sometimes with the 15 it also helps to do this dance. Oops, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens as well. I'm nervous. No, I'm not. I was at the beginning of my videos. Oh my god. Okay. Not too tight, around 20 Newton meters, and it's perfect. So, it is done, guys. So guys, I hope you like this video. To do the bedding of these brake pads, it's the same that I told you on the video. I leave the link here, up here, that I did on the front brakes. On the rear is not that necessary because they do a lot less braking. But nevertheless, you must be very careful to preserve your brakes. On the next videos, I will do a tutorial how to change and why to change these brake hoses and the brake fluid, and why you have to change your brake fluid. Okay? See you next time. Bye!